All right, look, if you're selling any type of online service, agency, freelancer, coaching, consulting business, this video is gonna help you break the barrier and the thing that's kind of holding you back from getting more clients. And the reason I'm able to speak on this is because I've built an agency to multiple six figures. I've also built a consulting business to that level as well. I've sold people from realtors on an ice cold sales call, 2 hours long, getting them to close. I've also sold layup deals that came just from content. And so I've seen all different types of sales interactions in the online space. And a lot of people don't get this simple concept that I'm gonna cover here in this video. That's probably the reason as to why sales seems so hard for you. And I just wanna dive straight into it with you. Okay, so this will represent it very well here. Pretend we have this graph here. And here on the left, we have trust. And then here on the bottom, we have money, right? We have dollar amount. And this is the actual amount someone will pay you, right? And what I want you to understand is it's this insight that I've gained after taking hundreds and hundreds of sales calls and charging from various different price ranges, typically high ticket. But the more that you want somebody, I'll actually draw this in red, right? The more you want somebody to pay you, the more their trust level needs to increase, okay? So if you want someone to pay you $4,000 here, they're gonna have to trust you a whole lot. If you want somebody right here to give you $100, the trust level is not that high. They don't need to trust you that much, right? And so the amount somebody trusts you is in direct correlation to the amount of money they're willing to give you. And a lot of people don't get this concept, okay? Because a lot of people online, they're charging high prices. They're charging, $4K to $10K, let's say, for a high ticket offer. And they try to use a simple funnel like cold DM. And this is like, I used to send 1,000 cold DMs a day. I've done cold calls in my agency. I've done content. I've done all the acquisition strategies, but what a lot of people do is they'll maybe try some outreach message and they immediately try to get them on a call and they immediately try to get somebody to close, right? And this just fundamentally doesn't work if you're charging a high ticket offer. Now, if you're charging an offer that costs $1 single, it's easy to do that. It's the same way you wouldn't walk up. Like, let's say you met me on the side of the street and I'm like, yo, give me $5,000 so I could help you do boom, 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 boom. It's like, what? Who are you? Why the hell would I give you $5,000? But if I come up to you and I'm like, dude, if you give me $1, I promise I can get you this result. It's like, what? Okay, here's a damn dollar. Because the more somebody has to pay you, the more friction there is, the higher a commitment, the bigger of a risk it is. And humans want to avoid risk. They want to avoid losing money. I heard something that like people would rather lose $100 than win 100. Or excuse me, all the way around. People would rather not lose $100 than win $100. And there's a lesson in that. It's that people don't like to lose money. And it's the same reason why a lot of these guys, and maybe you running an agency, you're doing cold outreach, or maybe you're doing like a simple paid ad to a call funnel, right? The people that are doing these like one-way funnels where leads buy or die immediately, what's the issue they're facing? The issue they're facing is they don't understand this freaking bar graph that I drew and it looks like crap. Trust is associated to the dollar amount you charge. And in these funnels, what is the one thing missing? There is no trust. Very simple. There is no trust, okay? Now, the issue is these guys doing these funnels, and maybe you're charging a high ticket offer on this close, but they do not trust you. So what ends up happening is that you and a lot of people in the space, this is a problem. This is a damn disease. You need to overpromise. Guess what you also have to do? You need a wild guarantee. I can't spell today. Hopefully that's right. This is what's happening in the space. People are using the wrong funnels, and nothing's right or wrong. I was talking to a friend about this today. Nothing is right or wrong. It's just your interpretation of whether whatever you're doing is right or wrong. I'm talking high-level philosophy. Anything you do in life, there is no right or wrongs. It's just up to your interpretation. And so that's not me sitting here saying these funnels are wrong, but that's me telling you that they aren't working because there is no trust developed and you're charging a high-ticket offer. So it goes the opposite directions, right? You're charging a ton of money with no trust, and that leads to people putting a Band-Aid on their offer and saying, okay, I understand it's hard for you to pay me thousands of dollars and you just got to know me from one little video. Here's what I'll do. I'll make sure you get 1 million booked calls. I'll make sure you make $10 million. I'll freaking give you your money back guaranteed, and I'll send you $10,000. I'll wire it to you for wasting your time. That is the state of the market. People need to overpromise, and people need wild guarantees to make sales because they don't understand the trust to dollar amount ratio. And there's a term that I came up with that solves this. If you're looking for the answer, you're like, Christian, I got it. What do I do about it? You need a trust mechanism. You need a process that can get a prospect to trust you in the shortest amount of time possible. Because I'll tell you a misconception. Trust does not come from how long they've known you. Trust comes from time spent. Give you an example. Let's say I meet a girl, right? And we start dating for a month, and I know everything about this girl. I've only known her for a month, but I've spent a lot of time with her. Meanwhile, I have this Uncle Bobby that lives in a tool shed, and I've known him my whole life, but I don't know anything about the guy. I've barely ever seen him. So I've known him for a long time, but I haven't spent much time with him. Therefore, I don't really trust him. But this girl, I've known her for a month. She's told me her whole life story, all the problems and things that she deals with. Guess what? I trust her. Okay, so trust doesn't come down to how long you've known the person. Trust comes down to how much time they've spent with you. And so we use trust mechanisms with the agency owners, the consultants, those people that I work with. We build trust mechanisms in order to manually increase the amount of trust as fast as humanly possible with prospects, okay? And so this is the same thing I saw when I was working with realtors in my agency. What I was doing is I was sending a cold DM, I was calling them, and then I was getting them on a sales call and getting them to close. The issue was my close rate was 13%. It was pretty damn shit. And I've taken hundreds of calls, and I know how to objection handle, I know the discovery, I know how to do sales. So that wasn't the issue. It wasn't a sales problem, it was a marketing problem because there was no trust being built here. And trust comes down to two things. And you could call this like really like the buying process. What are people buying? Well, guess what? They're buying one, you, and two, what you do. I add another one here. 3, how you are different. In order for somebody to buy, they need to trust you and that you are the person that can get them the result you're saying. They need to trust what you do and that thing is the best thing to get them the result. And they also need to trust and buy into how you are different from the 1,000 other people that do what you do, okay? And the best way to build a trust mechanism, are you ready for the answer here that you've been waiting for? I got you, bro. This will save your damn business. The best trust mechanism in the world is YouTube. Now, before you click off, you're like, oh God, another guy telling me to make YouTube videos. If you don't have the right objective, intention, and thought process into making these videos, you're just gonna throw stuff at the wall. You're gonna have no idea what you're doing at all, okay? And so I want you to go and start doing this because you're gonna make more money and then hopefully come back and potentially work with me, maybe, right? And so the way to actually do YouTube in a short summary, so you can literally get started right now, so you could stop having a 10% close rate and working with leads colder than the freaking Arctic, is you have to create YouTube videos specifically to convert your prospects on these 3 points. And how do you do that? I'll tell you right now. You have to, A, destroy, very important, destroy limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs, AKA objections. Your prospects will have a certain set of objections that will hold them back from working with you. Okay, and if you've taken enough sales calls for your offer, again, I don't care what you sell, anything online, you typically know what the objections are. You typically know if people come to you and, oh, I just don't have the money, or, oh, I got to talk to my wife, or, oh, what if I just do, this other service instead of this? And so you have these certain set of limiting beliefs, and you need to write these down. Okay, so I'm telling you, this will change your life. Write down 5 to 10 LBs, limiting beliefs, that hold your prospects back, right? Not 5 to 10 pounds. We're not bodybuilding. 5 to 10 limiting beliefs, okay? And then you need to write down 5 to 10 video ideas to destroy these. To destroy these beliefs, okay? And how you do that? It's very simple. You use logic. If you could logically show somebody why the belief they have is false and give them proof, give them statistics, give them data, give them testimonials and how it's worked for other people, if you can show them logically how you destroy these beliefs, they will buy your stuff. And it's as simple as that. And so I'm making this video for you specifically if you're running an agency, coaching business, any type of online service business, and you're struggling. You're sending cold outreach, or you're running ads, or whatever it is, and you're getting calls, but they're not closing. It's probably not a sales problem. You could stop watching so much Jeremy Miner and Grant Cardone and all these sales guys, Andy Elliott, and you could start creating trust mechanisms, videos on YouTube that help convert these people. Right? There's a bunch of different ways to make YouTube videos. This is one of the ways that I do and my clients do. And so if you found value in this, recommend you subscribe.